Welcome back, Shade Squad, to another video. You should not be getting any ads because I left the YouTube partner program, mainly because you only make the big bucks on YouTube if you have like 100K plus subs. Other than that, you only make like a couple $100 on YouTube when you have less than 10,000 subs. So I just left it. It doesn't matter. Like I could sell a covered call and make more. Let me put it that way. Selling those covered calls compared to making a ton of videos over the course of a month. So I just left the program. You should not be getting ads. If you are, at least for my channel, use AdBlock browser. Screw them. Anyways, CYBL stock sitting at 0051. You can see here on the quarterly time frame. You know what? My bad. Let's start with the monthly, not the monthly, the yearly. So on the yearly time frame, we're just going sideways, right, for years and years. I just made a 40-minute video on open stock, so let me just drink some chicken broth real quick to soothe the throat because I've been talking too much. With a little lime there as well. Okay, so chicken broth with lime. Let's go. So yearly time frame, we're just going sideways, right? And if we draw a line down the middle of these candles, actually we can even measure it. Let's measure it, which I know this is going to be some wacky analysis. So let's see what's down the middle right here. So if you're buying under a penny, apparently, according at least to this analysis here on the yearly time frame, you're buying at a discount and you're buying at the middle of the range, because this thing comes down as low as 0.001, but went as high as 2 cents almost. So the middle of that is, of course, 1 penny. So if you're buying under 1 penny, you're buying already at least at the bottom half of the range on the yearly time frame. Let's go to the quarterly time frame. We're trending to the upside over the long term, and support always shows up at support. So I mean, if this is going to come down to trendline support, we should see it at 0.04 and under. Which I remember people telling me, "Oh, you're never going to see 0.03s, 0.04s. It's never going to come down." Turns out they're wrong, as they always are. I don't know why they love being wrong. They just do. And it is what it is. Let people be wrong. It's almost like they don't understand how penny stocks work. They pump and they dump. And a lot of people who have been trading for the past 5 years with me since 2020, you understand penny stocks so well that you know it's going to pump it up. Whereas the newer people, they're going to hold the bag because they don't. They're us of 2020, right? For those of you who started way back then. We're so much smarter, so we know, like, oh yeah, we know it's going to come down, even though they believe it's not, because they're holding a big bag and they're hoping it pumps huge so that they can get out. This should see trendline support, in my opinion, and we should see buyers showing up at 0.04s and under, in my opinion. That's where I'm going to start accumulating like 5 grand. That's why I've been waiting for this. Trust me, I've been adding like 1,000 here and there. I think I only have like $3,000 worth of CYBL. I think I started buying at 0.07s, I think, if I recall. I'd have to check, but I'm going to start adding big if it comes down to... I've been waiting, man. It takes a while. We know it takes time for this to come down nice and cheap because it just slowly bleeds. But when it gets down there, that's when you really want to start buying. Because we know it's going to... We know they don't communicate often, but when they do, we tend to get those big 0.04 moves. So I mean, I don't know if other people look at the quarterly time frame, but boy, oh boy, does that look juicy. Monthly time frame. Monthly time frame, very clear, very obvious. Wedge. Let me hide everything. Yeah, so there's the wedge, and I mean, par for the course, right? We would expect it to come down to 0.04s, maybe even as low as 0.02s, according to this wedge, if it's going to follow it. Unless this decides to form an ascending triangle, then it would form it would find support somewhere around 0.04s, 0.05s. And we'd have to redraw this, and it would become an ascending triangle at that point, which could happen, absolutely. We'll see if that happens, though. But if it's going to follow the pattern, then we should see it come down, to 0.04s and under. Everything's just lining up. I don't know if other people look at the highest time frames, but I'm seeing patterns here. Same thing on weekly, week after week. We're just dropping such a slow bleed pattern, but. This is going to be one hell of an opportunity at 0.04s. I thought about adding today, maybe just $1,000 worth, but I'm going to hesitate and wait and see if it does come down lower. Because the market looks like it wants to come down lower anyways. Usually the month of September tends to be weak. Which is nothing more than opportunity. On the weekly time frame, we have weekly RSI support sitting at around 27. I was about to say 27 cents, but that doesn't make sense. So weekly support is down here at 27 and under. So anytime it's touched down here, it's nothing more than opportunity. So I mean, if it does touch 27s again, like it has in the past, we should see it again at 004s and under. I mean, it is tempting for me. I'm tempted to buy here. I am. I'm like, oh my god, 005s, but I'm going to wait for the 004s. So weekly support, RSI support is coming. That's something to keep an eye on. Daily time frame is kind of like the 1 minute time frame on a regular stock. It's kind of too noisy and doesn't really give you much information other than love to go under the purple line. Let's look at the 200 EMA here. Where's my 200 EMA? There's my 200 EMA. So the 200 EMA and the WMA are pretty much at the same point. But anytime it comes under the 200, it's nothing more than opportunity, right? It does the Jerry Seinfeld special, right? It fluctuates up and down, and Jerry Seinfeld takes the loss because he doesn't know any better. And George Costanza, he's like, I'm going to ride this all the way down. He kind of got lucky. George Costanza didn't hold because he knew it was going to come back up based on historical patterns. Back in those days, there was no such thing as, moo. There were no such thing as charts that you can, mark. You'd have to, I think, do it by paper, right? Back then, at least. When did Seinfeld come out? 1990s? Because I was born in 1993, so I think it came out in 1990s. Damn, I started this channel 5 years ago or 4 years ago. I'm getting older. I have a decade. Crazy. So yeah, we would expect support at around 004s and under. Everything's lining up for a big buying opportunity. Nobody wants it down here. In fact, if you want, set a buy limit order at like 002 and under. See if you can get scoop shares down here. Because the people who scoop shares down here, lucky for them. I mean, we know we can come down here. We've done this. We've been here before. So we're better than George Costanza. We know it's going to come back up. We know that they don't like to communicate often, but when they do, we're going to move quite a bit. We move at, I think, 004 at a time. Let me measure it. We can measure it here. Here it went from 005 to 086, so almost 004. Here, 009 to 131. So yeah, when this thing gets going, it moves like 004 at a time. So even if I mean, sure, I'm holding quote unquote a bag at 007s. Even if this goes to 003, 002, I know that when it pumps, it moves 004. It's gonna come back up for me and then some. But also, I'm gonna add my biggest position down there, nice and cheap under 004s anyway. So if you're not paying attention to these, how much it moves when it gets to hype. I mean, even here, it moved from 0077 to, it moved almost 003. So when this gets going, it moves quite a bit, guys. Even here, what is this, 0067, not much there, but here, 0084, 107. Here, it made that was the moon market pump, and the Discord's jumping in, so I don't want to count that. But yeah. I'm excited. That's it. That's the point of the video. Please buy. Please buy. I know it seems scary because it's just trending to the downside. I know it's scary because they don't communicate often. Palantir partnership. What more do I need to say?